Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Skyley, and today we're going to be talking about the top 10 retro game reduxes. It is Top 10 Tuesday after all, so let's go ahead and do a top 10. It's going to be fun, and this one's actually going to be done a little bit differently. So because of the way this top 10 works, I actually have 20 games on this list. First, I have the originator games. Okay, these are going to be the retro games. And then I have the remixes, the redux versions of those games that are popular today, that have repopulated that genre that the originator game started. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really order it in like best and worsts, you know, so like it's just 10 games, man. These are 10 games that freaking rock. They rocked when they released, but people probably just didn't appreciate them. And then now the genres have been completely blown out thanks to these new Redux games. Hopefully you understand what I'm going with and you understand the rule sets. Either way, enjoy the top 10. Let's have some fun. Alright guys, we're gonna do this top 10 quick and sloppy. Nobody watches these anyways, right? So fuck it, let's go. Number 10, we got Geometry Wars based off of Asteroids. It's pretty similar here, except in every way that Asteroids could be better while still fundamentally staying the same exact game. That's Geometry Wars. I mean, you got better shapes, like literally, like it's called Geometry Wars. You got better shapes, colors, and effects, and the soundtrack, and basically it's still like a twin stick shooter. It's just like super awesome to look at. It bathes your eyeballs in awesomeness. That's basically what it is. Number 9, we got the Oregon Trail, which is based off of the Oregon Trail. Pretty much the same game, very similar graphics, except the play on the words is also mechanical. It's zombie, you know, it's not historic. I don't know if you guys ever played Oregon Trail in like school or anything. It's kind of educational, but the Oregon Trail is based on zombies. So maybe not so educational, but still mechanically very interesting and fun. Number 8, we have Pacman 256, which is based on the glitch of Pacman. Whenever you get to level 256, the game will start glitching, and basically you won't be able to go any further, and you can't beat the game. This is essentially Pacman, voxel graphics, and more interesting kind of like sounds and everything. You know, basically an updated Pacman, and also mechanically turned into an endless runner, which I think is a very, very appropriate genre switch for Pacman, so I'm going to put it on the list. Number 7, we have Plague Incorporated, which is coming from Command HQ. It's a redux here. Command HQ is essentially was like one of the first games where it was sort of like a grand strategy, kind of take over the world kind of thing. Plague Incorporated, very similar, almost identical in many ways, so it's very much a redux, a remix, except the twist is, you know, better graphics, of course, and modern day graphics. And you also are trying to infect the world, and so you evolve a virus, and it's just, yeah, you know, it's pretty basic still, but in the end, very awesome. Number 6 is Plants vs. Zombies, and this was kind of debatable because tower defense games, like it's kind of debatable if Rampart, which is, you know, the Redux game, if Rampart was even the first tower defense game. I mean, kind of it was, but there's so many weird genres of tower defense because really tower defense games aren't really a classic genre. It became very popular around like 2007 and onward with like browser games, you know, Newgrounds and stuff like that. But Plants vs. Zombies was like the first defense, tower defense, whatever game that got super popular. So I'm gonna put here Rampart, you know, like debatable, the very first tower defense game, and Plants vs. Zombies, the one that really actually made the AAA genre big with tower defense. And at number 5, halfway on the list, we have Minecraft, which is a redux of Dwarf Fortress. Now, I actually, before this, I had Dwarf Fortress was a redux of Rogue, so I don't know, man. Dwarf Fortress actually isn't that a retro of a game. I think it was released in like 2006. However, Minecraft is a significantly more modern type of game, and it is a redux of Dwarf Fortress. So maybe we could say Minecraft is a redux of Rogue, but not really. There's so many weird genre names now. It gets kind of complicated, but anyways, I'm going to throw it up here. Dwarf Fortress, and then the redux game, Minecraft. Number 4, we got Axial Verge for Metroid. Now, believe it or not, the whole Castlevania, Metroidvania genre really hasn't been great lately. Okay, in modern times, right now, this year, we got a lot of games coming out, and last year it was okay, because we had Axial Verge, right? But for Metroid, specifically Metroid-style gameplay, like Metroid, Super Metroid, and the Game Boy Metroids, we didn't really have any games like that. And the actual Metroid series went to 3D and started doing all sorts of weird branchings offs, and yeah, it was awkward. So Axiom Verge wanted to redux the Metroid formula, and they did a great job. It's a great indie game that aesthetically and mechanically fits the whole Metroid theme, so I'm going to put it as Axiom Verge is a redux of Metroid, and it's really good. Number 3, if if this is a Redux, it's kind of hard to tell. When the graphics are actually kind of like lesser than the original, it's kind of hard to say it was like remixed and Redux, but basically it is. I mean, mechanically, there's so many new things added in, but thematically, it really fits the same as EarthBound. Here we go. Undertale is a Redux of EarthBound. A lot of people really enjoyed EarthBound because it is a very standard Japanese JRPG, but it's kind of making fun of JRPGs in a way. Like, it's very aware of itself. Undertale is very similar, and it just kind of, it's at the same time, it's very basic and very usual, but then it breaks apart. It kind of like takes these conceptions and just fucks them up, right? Like, it's a really weird game. It's really hard to kind of nail down exactly what genre it is, because at face value, it looks just like a normal, very usual RPG, a very dated RPG, but then as you play the game, what you expect, your expectancies are completely changed. So it's a game that you definitely have to try to really understand. Number 2, Crossy Road is a remix or redux of Frogger. Basically, that's it. Frogger turned into an endless runner, just like this is the same makers of the Pacman 256 game. So they take Frogger, add in different achievable like skins, like characters that you can play as, add in some extra, well, it's Endless Runner, and there's also extra like little traps and things that you can jump across. And of course, the way the game is controlled on mobile is also a fundamental part of the game. And it also looks really good. It uses voxel graphics, it's not a pixel. But overall, the Crossy Road was huge for this developer, and it also prompted Pacman 256. Number 1, though, and remember, there's no order to these, okay? It's just, I'm throwing these games out here, just kind of, whatever. Number 1, I have Space Invaders Redux Ikaruga. Ikaruga, if I'm even pronouncing that correctly, Ikaruga, whatever. Space Invaders, super basic. It was even kind of based on a glitch, right? Like the aliens moved faster based on like how little enemies were on the screen because the game could process faster. It was pretty weird. Basically, very limited game. So I imagine if Space Invaders were to, like, the concept of Space Invaders were to be created in a more modern light, it would be Ikaruga. And Ikaruga, even for like, actually, it's a pretty old game. For an old game, it's like incredibly action-packed. And it was like the shining star of the shoot-'em-up genre. So Space Invaders, I don't know if you can consider it really a shoot-'em-up. Ikaruga, though, is a shoot-'em-up. Then again, remember, a lot of these games had like these limitations, graphical limitations, mechanical limitations, like with Space Invaders, Frogger, so they couldn't look that good. So with this list, I wanted to find games that were mechanically evolutions of the genre, not just graphical updates. They added in a lot of things. So sometimes they might not look too similar, like Dwarf Fortress and Minecraft. Just keep in mind, guys. Anyways, so I just wanted to kind of make you guys aware of that for my Top 10 Tuesday. Thought it was kind of a cool Top 10. I mean, kind of there's like 20 games in here I'm really kind of talking about, but really, the 10 games, man. Geometry Wars, Oregon Trail, Pacman 256, Plague Incorporated, Plants vs. Zombies, Minecraft, Axiom Verge, Undertale, Crossy Road, and Ikaruga. These are games that were reduxes of older ideas, and they did fantastic. And not only that, not only did they do very well, but they themselves will probably be remixed and redux later on because they basically created entirely new genres, even though they were remixed of older games. So that's pretty cool. Just wanted to make you guys aware of that situation there. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Skylent. This was Top 10 Tuesday. I'll see you again next week.